Hi, my name is Dave, and we're going to look at the setup of the Lafayette Arcturus telescope and adjustment of the equatorial mount. Okay, let me show you something interesting about this mount in addition to the other strange things about this. I have no idea why they did this, but they made two independent kind of floating parts to the base. I have no clue why they might do that. And this attaches here. I'll show you that in a minute. But I've got no idea why they would do that. It's very interesting and rather strange. By the way, this is a standard, this is a 9/16. So, boy, that's a bit of a mystery. This is also very unusual. The way you attach this here, this whole latitude adjustment thing here is pretty darn bizarre. This thing goes on here like so. And four little I use a standard 3/8 inch wrench to put these in. This is the easiest way to do it because the tripod, like most of these tripods, it's a nightmare with the spreader and all that stuff. So it's better to just put the whole tripod together before you would put the mount on. And obviously it was designed so that you would basically leave the tripod together, and then when you wanted to take this telescope out, you would bring out these four little bolts, which of course you're never going to lose those, are you? So you'll never lose these little bolts. There they are. Oh, jeez. So you put those four little bolts in there, heaven help you if you've lost them. I think they're standard. Well, this is a standard American wrench, so they would probably be standard American bolts, I would guess. And this is not too much of a pain. Only takes you about probably 20 minutes to put this on. Convenient. Not so much. I don't know why this is giving me. Oh, it's a little tighter down here. Because of the latitude adjuster, you can see. Maybe I'll turn this around so you guys can see it too. There's a lot of rubs there. And it's just a little tighter than it probably ought to be. Oh, what fun. The best thing to do is to wait until it's nice and dark. And do this when it's when the only thing you have is a flashlight. You hold the flashlight between your teeth and the batteries are kind of low. That's when you really learn the price that you pay to be an amateur astronomer. And of course you drop the little nut in the grass, so the little bolt in the grass, so you'll never find that again. Even with your flashlight crawling around, you know, you'll never find it. Your lawnmower will find it. You mow the lawn next time. Probably, break the neighbor's window. But anyhow, these are some of the adventures of amateur astronomy, I'll tell you. Look at this thing. Talk about overcomplicated and of course you bring your handy set of wrenches with you to tighten this. Whoa, I better adjust the latitude down before I get all crazy here. So now you adjust this latitude down. Let's see if that's the same size. Oh, how about that? It's even the same size, so you can adjust the latitude there. Tighten it down here and here. What an enjoyable process. Hopefully by now the telescope is probably cooled down. You've probably given it at least half an hour for the telescope to cool down, so that's an advantage. Okay, so now, if you haven't lost any of these parts, put that on. Another nice part of this adventure is probably You're probably trying to observe M42 in the middle of winter, and the temperature outside is probably minus 10, minus 20. And of course you can't do this with gloves on, so you're handling bare metal at those kinds of temperatures. This is another thing that toughens up an amateur astronomer. It's good for your soul. Okay, now we'll put the counterweight on. Okay, now we're all set, ready to observe. All we need is an eyepiece and an eyepiece adapter, and we're good to go. Almost forgot the dew shield. Okay, here's how the focuser works on the Lafayette Arcturus. This thing screws in and out. You'll see there's a set screw here. That's a locking screw. But it'll also help to tell you where you're going to put this thing. So let's put that like so, because this is going to be lined up with that. Inside, if you turn this, I hope you can see that. Down inside that hole, there's a slot going by. As you turn this, when you get this lined up just upright like so, that slot there, then you can put this screw in, and the screw will go all the way in. And what that's doing is holding the draw tube, holding the focuser, the part of the focuser that moves, holding it in one position so it doesn't twist as you remove this. Now, if you try to take this out, you can't do it. It stops right there. But if you remove this, or even just loosen it, it'll come up out of that notch, and you can continue to turn this all the way out. That's the notch down inside there. This is pretty greasy here, so you don't want to touch that too much. Anyway, that little notch there, that's engaging that. So it's just about as simple as it could be. It is really greasy. Come this way, actually. Okay, so now, in order to get the draw tube out, I remove this part here, and then the draw tube comes out. And this is still quite greasy. I hope you've enjoyed watching this setup of the Lafayette Arcturus telescope. Thank you very much for watching.